Welcome to Learned and Go-Go, the podcast. My name is Sydnee. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And it is now Wednesday night. I am so excited to be here with all of you guys. Thank you to everybody who is already hopping in the comments. I see Aaron. I see Lizzie. You guys are under different names tonight. Kind of pretty cool there. I hope you guys have had a good week. I am super excited to be back with you guys. I look forward to Wednesday every week. Some of you know it's been a tough few weeks for me, so I look forward to these happy moments. I love seeing you guys on here. Tanya, I'm so glad you are here too. Thank you for hopping in. Definitely, as always, anything that oh, it did it. We didn't do it. I'm sorry. YouTube is like giving you all different identities tonight. Oh, Rebecca, hey, I'm glad you're here too. Yeah, everybody's got different names tonight. That's so funny. Well, I'm still Sydnee. You know, it's oh, and Luna Projects is here too. Awesome. Everybody say hey to everybody. So glad that you guys are all here. Yeah, so like I was saying, as usual, anything that I can hop out on there, plug for you, celebrate for you this week, let me know. I love doing that. That is like one of my favorite things to do. As my shirt says, oh, you can't see it. All ships rise is what it says. I'm afraid. So I have I use a separate webcam now because my laptop camera is not always reliable. And some of you guys might remember it would start going real dark and then real bright and then real dark and real bright. So I use a separate camera. And usually I have it just balancing. And then it occurred to me tonight, why don't I stack it on some books and then it'll, so that's why I'm kind of looking out of the way there. So I'm afraid to try and move it to see the shirt because I might just mess up my whole MacGyver setup that I got going here. Because, that's the kind of operation I run here. I just make it up as I go along and it's all good. It's all good. It's so much fun. Let's see. Oh, yay. Cody's here too. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are all here. This is so awesome. Yes. So I just got done watching Gen V. I think I have one episode left. If you guys aren't watching this show, especially if you are a fan of The Boys, I highly recommend this show. It's so good. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the easily offended, but I'm 99% sure that if you are on my podcast, you're not easily offended or, find gore and sexual humor offensive. So I highly recommend this show. I'm just sitting here, I keep thinking about it and I'm just like jaw on the floor. So super good. Oh, Luna Projects has been watching it too. Excellent. Hey, Keith is on here tonight too. Everybody is here. Happy hump day, folks. All right. So speaking of books, since that's what I'm using to hold up. Yay, Johnny's here. Hey, buddy. Awesome. So like I said, I'm using books to hold up my my camera. I will answer that question privately, Luna Projects, in case people haven't been watching the show. I don't want to give anything away. But I agree. What is up with that guy? So lately, I've been getting back into reading before I fall asleep because with the climate in my news feed, it was getting a little bit too much before bed to scroll. And then I couldn't sleep, or I was sleeping, I was having crazy dreams. That being said, okay, actually I did scroll a little bit before I went to bed last night. I had a crazy ass dream. All I remember is I was trying to hook up TVs and everything was going wrong. And then I had like the AirPods with the wire, and they were black. They weren't the white ones, even though I have an iPhone, all of mine are white. And it slowly made its way like around my neck and was like choking me out. But I was looking at my son. It was really crazy. So I'm trying not to have that kind of stuff happen anymore. So I've been reading before I go to bed. So I'm looking for things, suggestions. If you guys have any authors that you really enjoy, I'm rereading the Hollows series by Kim Harrison. She's like my favorite. I absolutely love her. I love Janet Ivanovich. I've read a lot of Stephen King, but if you guys have any suggestions, please put it in the comments because I'm like loving reading before bed and I'm looking for suggestions. And maybe we can all like help each other out too. Let's see here. Aaron says, flips tables. I must leave. I can't stand raunchy humor. We know better. We know better. Yes. And Lizzie says, I try extra hard to just leave Facebook alone for a few hours before bed. Same. I'm always afraid I'm going to miss something, though. I don't know what I think I'm going to miss, but I'm always like, got to check it one last time. Then I'll like go into something else. And then before I put the phone down, I got to check it one last time. I don't know what I think I'm going to miss, but it's really been taking a toll on my mental health. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to charge up the Kindle, see what I have on there still to read. And I've been reading, but the Kindle, I love it because I love that I can turn down the brightness. And I do have a reading light that goes around my neck, but I try not to have any sort of light on because I don't want to bother Dave. So the Kindle's great because I can turn the brightness down, read, not bother him. But then if I fall asleep, that thing is heavy if I like hit myself in the head with it. So, you know, it's a work in progress. Let's see. Oh, Tani said I was just going to say Kim Harrison. I love her. I love, love, love her. And quick little extra reason why I love her, because the Hollow series I fell in love with years ago. And I haven't read the last few still, so that's why I'm trying to reread them so I remember the story so I can read the last few that she's released. When I decided I wanted to write a book, I reached out to her because I had won a contest that she had. So I have like a couple signed copies of books, and then it's like the cover. And then if you're familiar with her stories, I have like a burning bunny from hell pin, and I have a coat check from the restaurant where they eat. Like, it's really cool. And I think a bus token, like a wooden bus token, super cool. But to claim the prize, she emailed me to get my address. So I emailed that email address, which is her email address, and asked for some advice as far as publishing my book. And she wrote back. She was very kind, gave me some advice, which I very much appreciate. So she gets extra kudos from me. Love her stories, love her as a person. So definitely shout out to Kim Harrison. Thank you, Johnny. Sending good thoughts and well wishes to you too. It's just, you guys know, I can't even talk about it. I still get upset, but it's been a rough few weeks for sure. Luna says, I need to read the 2 Ozzy books I ordered. I got Dr. Ozzy and Last Rites. I'm not familiar with either of those, and I would absolutely love to read both of them. So I'll add that to the list for sure. Aaron says, Oscar Wilde. Okay. What genre do I like? I guess Kim Harrison's urban fantasy. So I like that the characters are all, like there's some vampires and witches and demons and pixies, but just to give you an idea, like the main character works for the FIB, which is kind of like the magical version of the FBI as the series starts. And it opens up with her having to go and collar a leprechaun who's got to come in for tax evasion. Like they're funny. So it's kind of like silly, funny, but you get wrapped up in the characters. I don't know that there's any genre that I don't like. I'm not really sci-fi as far as like space stuff. That's not really my genre, and maybe I just haven't read the right kind yet either. So anything you guys can pass my way, because I also like audiobooks. Like I'm definitely reading before bed, but when I'm working or driving or doing housework, stuff like that, I love listening to audiobooks. So let me have them. Let's see. Hello. Thank you for hopping in. So great to see everybody. Aaliyah made it too. Hello. Excellent. Luna says The Hollows is Cincinnati. I live in suburban Cincinnati. My favorite series ever. Yes. And that is why I love the Janet Ivanovich books. Yeah, two of them are holding up my camera right now. They take place in Trenton, New Jersey, which is where I was born, and I lived near there for a while. So I recognize a lot of the landmarks and all that are in the book, but they also reference things that are very Jersey, which is, I love that. And I've been watching Task, which was filmed around here too. So I definitely appreciate the connection of things when stories are taking place in areas that you're familiar with. So that's awesome. Let's see here. And Lizzie says, Charles Bukowski is wild. That's so funny, Tanya. I thought Luna said that, but you did, because I think you guys are both like in that area. Let's see. Keith says, but all the crazy people are on Facebook at night. Damn right. The freaks come out at night. And the thing is, I'm the freaks I'm cool with. The weirdos I'm cool with. There's just other people I'm not. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. You all know. You know what I mean. Luna says, is anyone good with iPads? Because for whatever reason, I haven't figured out why I cannot get mine to connect to the Wi-Fi since I got a new router. I'm not, but if someone is, please reach out to Lunar Projects and help her, because that's outside of my realm of expertise. I'm sorry, I don't have an iPad. Sometimes you just have to restart everything. Author GP Engdahl, did I say that right? Excellent. Feel free to add a link so we can find your stuff, for sure. I have not been to one of her book signings, but I would love to. She is just such a good human, and I really hope to meet her someday. She hasn't come this far east as far as I've seen, but I would love to go to the one bookstore that she has a lot of signings at that I believe she's affiliated with. And Rebecca says, we plan on ordering Ozzy's newest book, just haven't had the chance yet. Absolutely. Aaliyah says, I need to look into Sheila Sullivan. I'm not familiar with Sheila Sullivan. Please share like what kind of genre and stories they have. So Severian is here. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, and my sister's here. Hey, Sissy. Thanks for hopping on with us tonight. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Oscar Wilde wrote The Portrait of Dorian Gray. Very familiar with at least the name. Like, I don't know that I've ever read any Oscar Wilde, but I definitely know the name for sure. Let's see. I don't know how to explain what genre she is, but I have a strong suggestion. Kristen Hannah Firefly Lane. Okay. I'll have to check her out too. I like the name. That's a very cool name. So Severian says, oh, are we talking about Rod Serling's Night Gallery? He made an episode based on The Portrait of Dorian Gray. Cool. Is that another book? We are discussing books right now because I need some suggestions to read some stuff before I go to sleep so that I don't scroll Facebook and get very upset and then I can't sleep because I'm having panic attacks. So let's see here. So many comments. I love you guys. You are awesome. Let's see. You mean the bad people who are convinced they're the best, most righteous people? You know what I mean. Hey, Lisa. How you doing, beautiful? I'm so glad you are here. Charles is on here too. Finishing up my latest novel. Got 3 chapters left. The Gospel of Psalm. Not familiar. Awesome. Are you finishing up your latest novel, reading or writing? Because if you're writing, share your information in the comments so that everybody can follow you and support you, because that is what we do here. All ships rise. Thank you to Antastic Creations for my amazing shirt. I love you guys. Let's see here. Okay, so she starts a lot of her book release signings here in the Hollows. Absolutely. That is awesome. I'm also known as Wisco, and Frankie James sent me. All right, please tell Frankie that I said thank you. Now I know exactly who you are. Definitely tell Frankie I said thank you. He might just be eavesdropping tonight. Never know. Never know who's out there that is not in the comments, because I love the lurkers too, and I'm glad that you are checking this out. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Sissy. She said, my favorite author is Sydnee A. She has this amazing book called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go. I appreciate that. And because I suck at self-promotion, I'm going to put my link here. Thank you for reminding me. And you can get your copy of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self, available in paperback and ebook. But you guys rock. I'm so glad, like, everybody's in here. Awesome. Okay. Your book is on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. Very, very cool. Hey, Paul the Lurky. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. I love you. Yes, so definitely I will try to remember to share your info on my page. If not, feel free to put it in the comments so that everybody can see the link to your information. I knew you meant a lurker, but I like a lurky because isn't that Rainbow Bright's nemesis? Wasn't that Lurky? I love Lurky. He was awesome. Cool, cool. All right. So see, I was smart this weekend. I wrote some things down that I wanted to talk about because usually we start talking and I'm like, I had ideas and they fell out of my head. So I was smart and I wrote them down this week. Yes. So books. And another thing we like to talk about on here is movies. And we talked about some Halloween stuff last week, but I wanted to show you guys what I got because I was very, very excited that I got the 50th anniversary edition of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that I had upside down. Sorry, it's been a day. Yes, so this is the Steelbook. It's 4K. I'm really looking forward to opening it up and checking it out. My brother said it is definitely worth getting the 4K. And we're hopefully going to check it out this weekend. Super duper excited. And we'll be doing the audience participation in my living room where nobody can kick me out. AMC Theater. Okay. If you missed all that, check out last week's episode. But I was super duper excited to get that. But I also wanted to show you guys this too. So, oh, good night, Rebecca. Thanks for hopping on, sweetie. Good to see you. I'm so Carlin says Kai wanted to make sure he made himself known too as a lurker that he is listening to. You tell Kai that I said happy Hanukkah. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, Neil Peart's Ghostwriter. I'm a huge Rush fan. That book is a roller coaster of a man surviving through tragedy. Interesting. I like a few Rush songs. I'm not like a big Rush fan, but I think that would be interesting because Preston and Steve Preston's always talking about Neil. So I kind of want to check it out based on what he says. So let's see here. Lisa says, I'm going to view it. I want to know what happened. Oh, I was salty last week. I was salty. So definitely check out last week's episode if you didn't see it. Okay, awesome. And Charles sent a link to his first novel. So everybody give him some love, please. That would be awesome. All right, so back to movies. I have to show you guys just because I'm so super excited. This is how well my oldest knows me. They came home with this for me. Look at this. It's a 3D of Quick Stop, right? And then the back is like, for those of you from my generation that remember going to the video store and then having like the night drop, it opens up. And it has the first 3 clerks. Isn't that so cool? And then you put it back in there and it closes up. And it's got like this whole 3D, like, I'm so excited. I've got my own Quick Stop. I love it. So I had to share with you guys. It was up on the shelf last week and I couldn't reach it to show you, but I'm just like super duper excited. And like, it wasn't anything I even knew existed. So it meant a lot to me that they were like, you know what? My mom would like that. I'm going to get it for her. So yay. Let's see here. He's happy now. And since you're on Spooky Talk, happy Halloween. Thank you, Kai. That's awesome. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that off. Do you guys collect any movie, like any series, or is there specific movies that you love so you collect different memorabilia from it? Like Clerks is definitely one of mine. The Lost Boys is another. The Evil Dead series. I love having the things like having my Polecast room so I can have my walls of my Funko Pops and my, I've got my Rocky Horror there. I've got Red Huntress there. I've got like Tromathon stuff there. Like I cannot wait to have my Curse of the Ghost Rider stuff up, like when that comes out. So super cool. So I love having the things that go along with the movies. I have several Loki Funko Pops. Love, love, love Loki. So what kind of things do you guys collect, like movie wise? Do you have favorites? Do you have memorabilia that goes with it? That's another thing, Lisa. If you missed it last week, I should have a popcorn bucket, but I don't. AMC Theater. Okay, I'm gonna let it go, guys. I talked about it all last week. I'm gonna let it go. Let's see. Oh, I love that. Lisa says I have a Rocky doll and a Mickey the Trainer doll. That is awesome. Luna has Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Harry Potter series, movies, and books. That is so cool. Let's see here. See if you guys. Oh, yes, Sissy, The Office. I collect The Office. She sure does. She's been to a couple of the conventions where you can meet the people from The Office. She's got The Office everything. So that's 100% I can vouch for that one. I'm trying to think what else I have from movies. Like I have my photos of me and Kevin Smith. If you ever have the opportunity to meet him, he is just a stellar human being. I highly, highly recommend it. He's good people. I have a Beetlejuice here. I'm just like looking around, seeing who else I have. As far as movies go, Clerks, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead the Musical. That was fun. If you guys have never seen Evil Dead the Musical and are a fan of the Evil Dead movies, I highly recommend that. And if you are in the front of the theater, then you sit in what they call the splatter zone, and you will wind up covered in fake blood because it's just a big bloody mess of fun. It's a great, great musical. So that's a lot of fun too. Let's see. The Hunger Games, very cool. Supernatural. Oops. Paul says cliche and slightly dorky, but love Jurassic Park movies. Have them all in some figures. It's funny. I didn't want to like Jurassic Park. It's not really my jam as far as like, if you say it's about dinosaurs, or my older brother's friend, when it came out, called it Your Ass is Dark. And like that, every time I hear Jurassic Park, I think of that. But I did, when I watched them, I liked them more than I thought I was going to. And I don't know if it was the most recent one or the one before that we watched in the theater, and I really did enjoy it. But like on the surface, if you were like, do you want to go see Jurassic Park? I'd be like, oh, but I did like it more than I thought I was going to. So that's cool. Let's see here. I'm trying to think what other movies, like anything Tim Curry, I adore. Clue is one of my favorites. And I'm trying to think. I'm just like looking around the room. There's just so much to look at. Even like when I was in high school, my friend and I must have watched Wayne's World like 1,000 times. I feel like I've brought this up before. We would, you'd have the VHS, So we'd watch the movie and then we'd rewind it. And while it was rewinding, we would go make chimichangas and smoke a cigarette and come back and watch it again. It was like a thing. But I haven't watched that one in a while. And it was funny. I remember watching it again years later and being like, this is freaking corny. And then I watched it again after that and I loved it again. So that's one you have to be in the right mood for. No way. Paul's brother is playing guitar at the Rocky Horror at the Ritz. That's awesome. Do you know if Transylvania Nipple Productions is going to be the live shadowcast there? I know they're at the Keswick, I think Sunday, but they are Transylvania Nipple Productions are a fantastic Philly-based live cast, and the guy that plays Frankenfurter is Nick. He's Nick Infurter, and he has like kind of the Edgar Allan Poe kind of like facial hair going on. He's phenomenal. So absolutely, if you get the chance to go see them, go see them. Where we go, the Shadowcast is formal dress optional. I know I tell you guys about them all the time. Love, love, love them. If you're in the Wilmington, Delaware area, highly recommend. Last Friday of the month, go watch Rocky Horror with formal dress optional as the Shadowcast, and go pet my favorite cast member, AJ, because he's a black lab and he's phenomenal. Party time, excellent. Oh my God, we're not worthy. When I went and I saw MCR, the Alice Cooper opening, I just kept like talking about Milwaukee. You know, does this guy know how to party or what? That was fantastic. Let's see. It is not to my knowledge. As in, they're not going to be there, or not to your knowledge, or you don't know that who Transylvania Nipple Productions is. I'm going to look it up now because now I'm curious. Rocky Horror at the Ritz. Okay, so I probably should have realized that there is more than one Ritz. So let me narrow that down a little bit. Philadelphia. Landmark Ritz 5. A Shadowcast performs with the film, but I don't. Yep, Transylvania Nipple Productions. Love them. Let's see. Aaron says, I have a letter opener from the wrap party for a Johnny Depp movie. Was it Edward Scissorhands? I feel like a letter opener would go with that. That's cool. I still love Johnny Depp. I do. He's been in so many good things. Let's see. Oh, the Ritz in Haddontown. Okay, different Ritz. See, they need to come up with more creative theater names is the problem. Okay. But that's even cooler that there's another showing. Make sure they're doing audience participation. Let's see here. Stop it. Are you kidding me, Sissy? You watched Rocky Horror with Mom for the first time? No, because she does not know any of the audience participation. Have you ever watched it with me? Because if not, we got to change that. I remember her watching it, and it was like on VH1 or something, and I was like, no, 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 that doesn't count. You're not going to get it without the audience participation. It's corny. That's hysterical. Let's see. Oh, Luna says, I got to meet Christian Bale during the filming of Public Enemies since they filmed in Wisconsin. That's cool. Very cool. Oh, Aaron says it's from the movie From Hell. He has a little blade. I've never seen From Hell. I need to add that to the list. This is awesome. You know what we need to do, guys? Luna was gracious enough to make us the playlist on YouTube. So we need to have like a Google Doc or something that we can all access where we can add movie suggestions, book suggestions, stuff like that, because we talk about so many cool things and then I don't know how to go back and look at the comments on YouTube after the fact. I keep trying to figure it out. I'm dumb. I can't figure it out. So yeah, we need to like keep track of all of our great ideas because there's so many things that we talk about that we all share with each other. And then after the fact, it's like, wah, wah, wah. So I think that would be a very cool idea. Yeah, we sat and watched it, but that was it. No participation. We got to fix this. We have got to fix this. You will crack up. Let's see. Lisa is asking if Christian Bale was gracious to fans. So definitely let us know. That would be awesome. Let's see here. If I say what the movie is about, YouTube will smack me again. YouTube is always smacking you. You're going to have to like start saying, thank you, sir. May I have another to YouTube? Because it is forever busting your butt, my friend. I'm sorry. Okay, and Lizzie says, I don't know if YouTube saves live comments. I was trying to peek through one of the goddamn programs for something and it was empty. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay. Because like sometimes if we were talking about something specific, when I'm downloading it, I'll go back through StreamYard, but like I can't find it on YouTube after the fact, where Facebook's like, here you go until we're going to delete your live video 30 days from now. But in that time, at least you can go back and look at it. Let's see. And Luna says he was kind of meh. So, yeah. Sorry to say. You heard Christian Bale like spankings or Aaron? We're going to have two different conversations combining into a problem here. That's hilarious. Cool. Yeah. So definitely love movie recommendations, book recommendations. And if there's anything you guys are collecting, let us know, because that's always fun. And I'm just going to bring out my little ghosty guy because I like collecting little spooky guys, and he's given the finger 11. So he's fun. Lisa says I would spank him. I think she's talking about Christian Bale and not Aaron, though. And Luna says that Aaron likes spanking. And Paul says, oh, goodness. So, all right, guys, it only took us 32 minutes to get completely off the rails. I think we were behaving ourselves tonight. That's a new record, I think. Aaron says the movie is about a set of bad things that happened in Whitechapel in 1888. Hint, hint. Gotcha. I know what was going on in Whitechapel in 1888. Oh, I didn't know there was a Halloween station. Okay, so Lizzie says if anyone has Sirius XM, their Halloween station went live today, channel 105. Good to know. I do not have Sirius XM, but that's really cool. I do have a Halloween playlist. If you guys ever see my daily workout videos, I've been using the Halloween playlist in October, and I just added some new stuff because it was like the same songs over and over. And I feel like we had a Halloween playlist last year. I may be misremembering that, but I think that's what started the YouTube playlist, was we had a Halloween one going. Let's see. Lisa says yes, Christian Bale, not Aaron. Let's see here. Lisa says spanking in 1888. Probably before he did the old Ripper. Let's see. Aaron doesn't like getting spanked. Okay. To each their own. Everybody needs to respect boundaries. Now we know one of Aaron's. Oh, Lord. If you are of age, go watch The One-Eyed Monster. I can only imagine, Sissy. I can only imagine. I know you've told me about that one before. Luna says, I wanted to get his autograph, but he only gave out a couple and there weren't that many people there. A lot of people act like that. And sometimes I think it's because so many people, you have to watch for the people that are just there to get them, to sell them. And that just ruins it for the fans. So I get why certain celebrities want to keep the number to a minimum, but also I think you can tell fans and, you know, the people that are just doing it to sell it. That stinks. Paul says, is that a Halloween movie? Okay, this is fair. Aaron has no ass, so it's bone on bone contact. Poor Aaron. We don't want to bruise Aaron. And that's not everybody's jam, so that's fair. Let's see. So, wow, guys, this is like the show is flying by because I'm having so much fun. Okay, so oh, she said like very few. It was like 6 a.m. and cold outside and maybe 10 people at most. Okay, yeah, then that's strange. I wonder why. I don't like I know who Christian Bale is, and like when I see him in something, I'm like, oh, that's Christian Bale. But like if I passed him on the street, I probably would be like, oh, he looks familiar, but I wouldn't realize who he was. Dirks Bentley signed my bra. I threw it to him. That's awesome. Okay. You're not off topic at all. We're talking about autographs for sure. Did you guys ever get an autograph? And okay, if you've ever gotten autographs, and especially if they've been something unique, like having your bra signed, or did anybody ever get like the boob signed or whatever? Yes, I know he was one of the Batmans. But like I said, I'm sitting here thinking about him, and I can be like, oh yeah, I can picture him. But again, it's nobody that's really on my radar. Um, okay, The Fighter with Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg. I do remember seeing the preview, like the preview for that when I went to go see something else, and I did want to see that movie. I have not yet, but that is one I did want to see. I'm trying to think because, like I said, I have my Kevin Smith autographs right there. I'm gonna grab them because I love them. Because he's like so super cool. I love Kevin Smith, and he says "I love you" to me, which he signs on everybody's everything, but that's okay. But I got a couple of pictures of me and Kevin Smith signed by Kevin Smith. He also signed my buddy Jesus, which is up there. Oh, it's right there. No, I'm sorry. That's a Funko Pop and a buddy Jesus and another Funko Pop. I feel like I've gotten other autographs. Somebody I used to be friends with ran into Lars Ulrich on the beaches of Normandy and got him to sign something for me, which is pretty random. But I feel like I haven't gotten a ton of people's autographs. What's funny is back in the day, the most autographs I've gotten were from Christian musicians because I was only allowed to go to Christian concerts, and there would be the big festivals, so you could like wait in line and get those musicians would like wait and sign everything. And I absolutely adored this one singer, Steve Taylor, and loved, like, I was in 6th grade and had the biggest crush on him. And he signed, it was his newsletter, and he signed it for me. And I was like so geeked up. And then years later, when I was in college, I met him again. And like, I forget what he signed then. I think he signed his latest cassette I bought at the festival, but he was just a super nice guy. And I still love his music. He's good people. Let's see here. But I don't feel like I got a whole bunch of autographs. Maybe I'm just forgetting. Oh shit, yeah, American Psycho. Duh. Okay. I liked that movie. That was a crazy movie and I liked it. And I've only seen it within the last year for the first time. It was one of those that like everybody talked about, but I had never seen it, and then I got to see it in the past year. Let's see. Fallout New Vegas. I'm a jackass. What did I miss? Oh, totally missed this. Okay. I made a cosplay outfit for Raul from Fallout and got Danny Trejo to sign the patch on the back because he was the voice. It wasn't random. That's fantastic. I want to meet Danny Trejo. He just seems like an awesome human being. He has such a crazy story, and he's just what he's done with his life to turn it around. Like, and I think he's an awesome person. I would love to meet him. That's cool. Okay, yeah. And Lizzie says we have a whole ass binder full of our autographs from conventions. I do have Lloyd's autograph. I did get Lloyd to sign. Oh, I know exactly what I got Lloyd to sign. I got him to sign my copy of the 25th anniversary of Frozen Dead comics. That's what I got Lloyd to sign. Super duper awesome. Yes, it was a cassette, Lisa. It was 1994. Okay, Striper, no, but I did meet Michael Sweet. And it was funny because the drummer he was playing with, because like I said, it wasn't Striper, so it wasn't his brother, was not the drummer, Robert, and it wasn't Tim, and it wasn't Oz. See, I know my Striper. But they were playing at the Ichthus Festival, and I wound up asking, I think it was the drummer, like, where did Michael go? I want to say hi, blah. This guy like hunted him down, pulled him out of the van, and got him to come say hi to me. So I do have a picture with Michael Sweet somewhere, totally random. Don't think he signed anything, but I was just like, you didn't really have to go pull him out of the van. It wasn't that important, but that was pretty funny. Let's see. Luna. I have Dee Snider's autograph, but didn't meet him in person. Talked to him on the phone many times when my ex was his producer for his radio show in New York City. That is somebody else that I would love to just go like hang out with and talk to. I love Dee Snider. And I read his book, circling back to the books. I love how long he and his wife have been together. They just seem like really down to earth people. So Lisa says I have a Striper cassette. Awesome. And Danny Trejo is amazing. I've listened to his audiobook. I did not know he had an audiobook, and now I'm adding that to the list because I would absolutely love to listen to that. That is awesome. He's a super sweet little abuelo, one of our more surprising meets. Awesome. Let's see. Thank you so much for hopping in. Go back to writing, and I cannot wait to read book 1, and then I definitely want to read book 2 when it comes out. So thank you for joining us in the comments tonight. Super cool. Let's see. Got all the guys minus Mark Slaughter to sign my t-shirt after a concert. It's so funny because I did like Slaughter's music, but I called them Slafter just, because of how it's spelled. But yeah, like let me see, that would be, wasn't Dana Strum Slaughter? I can picture them. I used to have them hanging on my wall, my Metal Edge page that I would rip out and hang up on my wall. Oh, this is a good idea. Aaron says, how about your worst celebrity experience? I can tell you who mine was. Just wait 1 second. Let's see. Who sang with Boston for a minute? Michael Sweet? Really? I don't think you mean Danny Trejo. That would be something to go see. Let's see here. He narrates it. That makes it even better because hearing his story and his voice would be fantastic. Okay, so as Aaron said, everybody share your worst celebrity experience. One that I still like whenever I hear about him, I go, was Donovan McNabb was such an asshole to me. So don't like him. For those of you who aren't local, who might not know, he was the quarterback of the Eagles for a while, but he was, yes, Michael Sweet. Okay, Paul. We're talking about so many things. I want to make sure. Oh, it was a Boston tribute show. Okay. That makes sense. I still absolutely love Striper's version of Winter Wonderland. And it's so hard to find the recorded version. It's like I have the live one on my playlist, but like I would love to find the recorded one to stream. Lisa, okay. Yes, he was an asshole to me too. Okay, so it wasn't just me, it wasn't just an off day. Because sometimes, celebrities are people too. Sometimes they might just be having a bad day, but don't be a dick. Like you might not be the super friendly, but don't be a dick. There's definitely a difference. Really? Your bad experience, Aaron, was with Matthew Lillard? I'm sad to hear that because I would think he would be nice. I'm curious to hear that story because from what I've heard, well, I mean, I don't know that I've heard that many stories actually. So maybe I'm just making up a scenario in my head, but that sucks. Luna says, Joan Rivers, New York City. I was leaving a video store I was working at to go to the bank and was excited and said, "Oh my God, it's Joan Rivers." And she mocked me, but the way she did it rubbed me wrong. Oh, that sucks. So it rubbed me wrong whenever she'd come into the video store. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, thank you, Paul. Says I'm doing great wrangling all of our thoughts. I'm trying. Let's see. And Luna has more cute stories than bad. That's good. And Lisa says I would have thought he would have been nice. Yeah, me too, about Matthew Lillard. How long ago was that? Like, was he just like young and newly famous, so like kind of full of himself, or was this recently? Uh Says I was nothing but nice to him, and he took 2 separate times at the same event saying I had no taste because I like 13 Ghosts. That sucks. Especially because he worked with C. Ernst Hart in 13 Ghosts and in Scooby Doo. I mean, he worked with Ernst in Scooby Doo and he was in 13 Ghosts. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. That was a few years ago. Yeah, then that's not cool. I mean, it wouldn't have been cool if he was like young and newly famous either. But sometimes, when that train starts going and everybody's telling you how awesome you are, then you can be more of a dick. But, huh. She said he's nice if you're a child that's super into Scooby Doo, not so much if you're into horror, which is disappointing. That is disappointing because, like, between Scream and even Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that, like, you would think he'd be more open to any. Quite honestly, like, I am far from a celebrity. I am far from famous, but I appreciate every single person that has bought a copy of my book, that watches my podcast or my positive affirmations, like all that stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. And like, to have a career doing the thing that you love and then treat the people who are buying the tickets to support you like crap, to me, just, I don't understand that. I can't fathom that. And that's horrible. Oh, I've heard the worst of the worst is Stevie Nicks. That sucks. I can see it, but that does suck because I do like Stevie Nicks, but I I can see that. I've heard Joan Jett's horrible. Um, in fact, my husband used to bartend down the shore in the 90s, and they would have musicians come in. He actually had to pick up Kansas from the airport because their van broke down. But Joan Jett was playing at one of the places that he worked, and she had the most ridiculous riders. You know how they all like come up with all this stuff. And I mean, this is like a little bar in Jersey. This isn't a stadium or anything. So he and another guy went around and ran their heads off to get all of the stuff that she required in the dressing room, and she didn't touch any of it. So I'm like, whatever. But she kind of, to me, more recently, I think has mellowed out because she's older and, I think might appreciate stuff more than she used to, just from the interviews I've seen with her, but who knows? Let's see here. Penn Jillette and Gilbert Gottfried experience was epic. I love Penn Jillette. I love him. Gilbert I always liked. Rest in peace. I never had a chance to meet either one of them. Let's see. He was pushing Scooby at Frightmare and was just being a dick to be a dick to me. That sucks. I hate people like that. There's no reason to be like that. I absolutely appreciate anybody who's, who takes the time to give me a thought. Thank you guys. You rock. Infamous, definitely infamous, my dear. Okay, which one are we talking about, Paul? Which one's infamous? Let's see here. And if you want to meet Tom Savini, be a hot, young, half-dressed chick when he is drunk, and he will be all super sweet if his wife isn't there. Really? Okay, I can see that. Sex machine. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. Why don't people live by that? Exactly. Exactly. Like, it's so easy to just live by the golden rule. Doesn't matter what you believe in spiritually or anything like that. Just treat other people kind. That's it. It's really not that hard. Let's see here. Dust in the wind. That van was dust in the wind for sure. Luna says Joan Jett pissed on stage while singing at the Tomahawk Harley Ride concert, and my dad's seen it and said he met her, but she was super rude. Wow, that was a lot to unpack in that sentence. I've heard she's super rude. But like I said, I've never met her. And she's been touring a whole lot the last few years, so part of me wonders if maybe she spent everything that she made, or maybe she made some bad deals and stuff. Maybe she's just at the end of the road and wants to tour some more. I have no idea. Let's say, yes, throwing me curveballs for sure. Um, yes, people don't, and that's it's sad because it'd be so easy to just be kind. Pissed on stage, yeah, that's what that's what Luna said. Yes, she was raunchy. That's okay. Like, unless you're like Guar, don't. There's certain acts that it's still nasty, but like it go, like Guar, like Johnny Rotten, somebody like that. But Joan Jett, come on now. Yeah, I love rock and roll. Stop it. Then you're gonna pee on stage. Let's see. Oh, she's coming to Cincinnati. Okay, I didn't know she was still touring. I agree, Lisa. Ew is correct. Gross. Oh my gosh, it's already like less than 10 minutes to go, guys. This has been awesome. The time is flying by because I am having so much fun talking to you guys. Um, yes, Paul, you are correct. He said, didn't Fergie do that too? Oh, whoops, wrong comment. Piss on stage. She did. I don't think she meant to. I think that might have been like a drunken accident, or maybe, I'm not gonna lie, she might have had kids by then and sneezed, because God knows it has happened to me at the Acme. Like, it sucks. It's part of being an older lady. But I think she was a wee bit intoxicated, if I remember correctly. Yes, Joan Jett isn't all that. She definitely has her place in rock history for sure. Um, Between Runaways and then her solo stuff. And I did love that she was in Repo the Genetic Opera, because that was kind of like out of left field. But like, I love rock and roll when I was in elementary school at the roller rink. It has its place in my memory. Bad Reputation every once in a while, but like, Do You Want to Touch Me There? No, ma'am, I do not. And like Crimson and Clover remake. So I don't know a whole lot of her library, but like I said, a couple songs have their place in my memories, but I've never been a huge fan. So I got you there. Yep, exactly. I'm just not a fan. That's just me for sure. I still love some of her songs. And like I said, they have their place. There are a lot of extremely sweet, caring people like Lloyd Kaufman, a snappy dresser, scholar, and very handsome and powerful man. I love Uncle Lloyd. I've only met him a couple times, and he's been nothing but nice to me. So, and of course, I love his company as well. I'm so glad you could hop on too, Paul. Thank you for coming out of the lurking and participating tonight. That's awesome. Yes, things change after kids. Faux show, 100%. Yes. Oh, that's right. She is touring with Billy Idol. I did know that, actually. Um, but yeah, you never know what somebody's backstory is, but be kind, because you don't know what somebody's going through that is super duper excited to meet you too, and then you can squash that dream And that's just rude. To me, when you reach the level where people are taking their time out of their day to come and meet you, be grateful. Like there's so many people, there's so many super talented people out there who never get a sniff at that stardom. And if you are, I'm not saying you didn't work for it, but if you've gotten to that place, then treat the people who have paid your checks, through your ticket sales and your convention showings, and so like appreciate it. That's all I got to say about that. She may have the same hairdo as Billy Idol. I was thinking they might have matching leather jackets. That's hysterical. Exactly. If it wasn't for fans, they wouldn't be there 100%. And people forget where they came from. So that's stinky. Well, if you guys would like to do a quickie pick a page, I will take a number between 1 and 300 and an A or B to let me know which book you want me to read out of. Let's see. Johnny Maestro was super cool. Got to meet him and his band. They were super gracious and signed a few CDs for me and my dad. That is awesome. Johnny Maestro. Very cool. 46, book B. All right, Erin. And book B tonight is The Encyclopedia of Unusual Sex Practices by Brenda Love. Let's see if we get something that's not like drugs, or we've gotten some stinkers the last couple of weeks. So let's say here we have bottoms. People who play the passive role in sex play are referred to as bottoms. Those who orchestrate the sex games are referred to as tops. Bottoms are not always masochists because many sex games do not involve pain or degradation. There you go. All right, Lizzie's saying 187B. You guys are all about B, huh? Let's see here. 187. Right? Yeah. I need to get like the large print edition of this book because I can't see. Olfaction. That is Olfaction. It is arousal from strong smells. It refers to people's ability to smell odors. Certain molecules dissolve into hair-like cilia receptors that extend down from the olfactory bulb of the brain and into the nasal cavity. Okay, we're getting way into the biology here. Okay, that's a little inappropriate. Okay, again, this book came out in 1992, so some of the stuff that it says, we don't say anymore. Okay. The effect of odor can be enhanced by several methods. Best and Bernstein claim that the combination of scent and massage is a heady experience. Ooh. So this is if you smell something that gets your motor running. I remember when I was in high school, it used to be Drakkar Noir. And then one day I came home and my dad decided to start wearing it, and that just put the brakes on that completely. All right, let's see here. Lisa says that's a book I would like to read. Let's see here. I thought I saw another. All right, so 38. I'm going to read 38 out of my book just because we did 2 out of this. Oh, diesel fuel really turns you on, huh, Paul? All right, let's see. What did I say? 48? I had a brain fart already. 38. Okay. Which is one more than 37 in a row. So 38. I climbed up the steps and took to the stage with the grace and elegance of a baby rhinoceros. I grabbed the pole for dear life and moved my hips in a serpentine movement, down into a squat and then back up to standing. The shimmy down and up movement seemed to be the natural go-to move for anyone who was inexperienced and trying to dance while holding a pole. Yes, that is my audition story. It was that was an experience for sure. And you can read all about it in Everything I Need to Know I Learned in GoGo, and you can get your copy at learnedingogo.com. So awesome, guys. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much. Maybe next week we will talk about the smells that turn you on, because I think that would actually be a really great topic. Yes. Let's see. Oh, Paul's still wearing Drakkar. That's so funny. That wasn't the comment I meant to click on. And I clicked on it twice. No, what I meant to click on was I get that there are certain colognes that make me swoon. And it's funny. There was a time, it was a couple of years ago, it came up in my Facebook memories, but I would walk into my kitchen and just catch a whiff of Drakkar. So I don't know if like some ghost that died in the 90s was like haunting my kitchen or like passing through and I just get a whiff of Drakkar, but it's interesting. But yeah, I would absolutely love to dive into that topic a little bit more because I think that would be fun. Aaron says that was me the first time on stage for the tourist taxi. My pole was my mop. There you go. Did you do the little shimmy? The little shimmy up and down. Lisa loves the smell of beer, but I don't drink it. Very cool. Nautica smells nice. All right, let's see here. Oh, baking bread. I love that smell. That's a really good smell. And Lisa remembers reading about my audition. Yes, that was hysterical. Like looking back on it, at the time it was mortifying, but looking back on it, it's definitely hysterical. Okay, garlic croutons baking. Awesome. I love you too, my friend, and I'm glad that you had fun. So I am going to wrap this up for this evening, but this has been awesome. Thank you guys so much for hopping on with me. I have so much fun with you every week, and I love you all. Thank you for taking the time to spend with me on your Wednesday night. And remember, when life comes at you and it's hard to deal with, you got to face those problems head on. Because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding from your problems, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love you.